Hello, geeks! Comic book readers are the worst!
The conversation you are about to see is real. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. Also, it's okay to have a conversation with yourself as long as you don't interrupt.
So, Sherry, why don't you read comic books? Well, that's complicated. But first off, I don't really enjoy reading. But Sherry, comic books are mostly pictures with words just here and there. That's true, but it is still reading. And I kind of have a Pokemon problem where I have to catch them all. This goes for comics as well. If I'm going to start a run of comics, I want to start from the beginning at issue 1 of that run and make sure I have every single issue within that run. And with comics, that's hard to do. I've even tried buying most of a run on eBay, but once I got to that issue I missed, it's like, well, I don't want to keep reading. I'm going to miss something in that issue I missed. I have to find that issue. And then I can't find that issue. It's a thing. Trust me. Not a good idea for me to start reading comics. Well, instead of getting a comic book, you could go ahead and get a graphic novel. It has the whole run in one book. Then you collected them all. Graphic novels are expensive. Yes, it's probably cheaper going that route than buying each individual copy of the comic, but dishing out that much money at once on a book that I'm probably going to read once and then toss aside is really hard for me to do. But Sherry, Kindle now has a bunch of comic books that you can read for free. I'm good enjoying my comic book genre in the moving format of television, movies, and animation. It's the way I enjoy them, so just let me be. But Sherry, you would appreciate those movies, television shows, and animation so much more if you would just read the comic books. Comic book readers are some of the biggest babies when it comes to movies and television. That's because they didn't get the details right. Which incarnation did they get wrong? Comic books are constantly rebooting themselves and starting over. Just look at The Flash. Look how many incarnations of The Flash there are in the comic books alone. You have Golden Age Flash, Silver Age Flash, some other Flashes. Comic book writers either get tired of what they're writing or decide to quit and somebody else takes the reins. In DC, Flash just goes back in time, messes up the timeline, and comes back. Or in Marvel, you got Cable or Bishop running amok through the timeline. Or someone crosses the multiverse, messes up the timeline. Or there's some catastrophic event that messes with time and space, and the whole universe needs to reboot. Instead of complaining about the details of the movies and television shows, just take it as a new run, a new timeline, a new story of the character that you love that is based on your character, but it's different because it's a different universe or timeline. Can't you just let them be their own things and stop crying about it? Because comics are better. Agree to disagree. Just because I consume my superheroes differently than you doesn't make one worse or better than the other. It just makes them different things. But with that being said, we can continue discussion on comic books and so much more. You just have to subscribe and like this channel. Until next time, geeks.